Congress. Joining our discussion now, Democratic Congressman Steve Cohen of Tennessee. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee where impeachment proceedings begin. Congressman Cohen, your reaction to what we've learned today about the President of the United States in the Michael Cohen case?
I think that what we've learned today is what many of us have known for at least 2 years, and some for maybe 10 or 15, and that Donald Trump is a criminal enterprise. The Trump family's a criminal enterprise, and that most of the people he's involved with, like Michael Cohen and Manafort, are shady folks. And it's astonishing that they have taken the White House in the contrast with George Herbert Walker Bush, a man of distinction and class and character, and this man is just so manifest.
The prosecutors in New York went as far as the Justice Department guidelines allow them to. They are not allowed to charge the President of the United States formally with crimes, indict the President of the United States. The remedy is left only to you in Congress, according to the way the Justice Department sees this now, that given that those crimes have been outlined, is this enough reason for the House of Representatives to begin an impeachment investigation?
We're going to start investigations in many committees, and particularly in Judiciary, of Trump activities. We're not going to start with impeachment. You know, I feel he's committed many impeachable offenses, and there's no question. Even Douthat wrote the other day, he's not exactly the most liberal guy, that he may be the most impeachable president ever. But you've got to have at least 20 Republicans to agree with you, and you've got to have information come out, which can either be through Mueller or, you know, as I know Michael Isikoff's concerned, it might not come out, and it may not come out, but it could come out through hearings in the Judiciary Committee, information that shows to the Republicans that this man's an albatross and they need to jettison him, or else they're going to just the wave in 2020 is going to be even greater, and it's going to be a wave that's going to hit the Senate. I think the proof is going to come out. They probably have recordings of Trump that Michael Cohen had. They probably have recordings of other people, the family members, and it's going to be so clear that this has been a criminal enterprise from day one with the Russians and Trump that the Republicans will jump off of the ship and say, we got to get rid of this guy.
So it's been very clear.
So we're going to have hearings. We're going to have hearings that's going to be like impeachment, because it's going to bring out the facts.
Let me ask you this. What does it take? What does it take to get an impeachment hearing against this president? He's accused of federal crimes by federal prosecutors in New York City. That makes him one of 3 presidents in history. Are the Democrats prepared to allow this to be the only president in history who gets accused of federal crimes like this, who then does not face an impeachment hearing in the House of Representatives?
I don't think that will happen. But it's going to have to be Speaker Pelosi and Chairman Nadler to be the leaders. Nothing in Judiciary Committee without Chairman Nadler, the chairman, making it on the agenda. And he would not do that without consultation with the Speaker, and I'm sure the Majority Leader and Mr. Clyburn as well. At some point, the team will come together.
Is it the Democrats' position, because I keep hearing this, that Democrats will not take any action without the support of Republicans, both in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, and therefore the Democrats are simply surrendering their own powers in the House of Representatives to the control of Republicans?
I don't think that's the case, Lawrence, because I think what it is we want to see some Republicans either have their eyes opened or their backbones reinstalled and come forth and show that they're willing to at least shoulder some of the responsibility and be open to this.
And
I think
if
as
they
the
don't,
proof
because
comes out, there are going to be more and more of them that will.
This is a party that does not shoulder responsibility under any circumstances. If they don't, are the Democrats in Congress prepared to establish the precedent that presidents are allowed to commit federal crimes the way Donald Trump has been charged in New York with this federal crime, that Democrats would then establish that as an acceptable precedent by presidents, not to be challenged by the opposing party in Congress?
I can assure you that I will be on the inside urging that we take action and that we not wait too long, and that we develop the proof be developed and the facts be out there to where the American public says that it's just been too much. And I think you're going to find some Republicans that are going to save their skin will come around, and that's what happened in Watergate. They realized there was a cancer on the presidency. There's a cancer on the presidency now, a cancer in the White House, whatever John Dean's terminology was, but it exists again, and we should have this man come to have to on and be impeached, but you don't want to necessarily have it be before it's so obvious to even members of the Republican Party that have their own security to be concerned about.
Congressman Steve Cohen, really appreciate your joining us tonight. You have a very important position on the Judiciary Committee. We're going to need to hear a lot more from you, especially when you take over the majority in January. Thank you very much for joining us on this important night.
You're welcome, Lawrence, and believe me, I'm simpatico with you, but I've got to be part of the team, and I've got to work with Jerry and Nancy.
I know how it works. Thank you very much, Congressman. Really appreciate it.
Yes, you do.
And Jill Wine-Banks and Ron Klain are